Being the President of the United States. It's about leadership, guiding a nation, and making tough choices. Some presidents stride into the Oval Office with a plan, others wing it. But decisions made there shape our lives, economy, and place in the world. Think of the president as the captain of a giant ship, navigating through storms and dodging icebergs. Choosing a president? It's a big deal. It's about deciding who we trust to steer the ship and make the tough calls. No pressure, right? So let's dive into the legacies of Trump and Biden. Donald J. Trump, real estate mogul, reality TV star, and the 45th President of the United States. His presidency? Just as dramatic as his campaign. Trump promised to make America great again, delivering some economic wins. Tax cuts, deregulation, a booming stock market. For a while, it seemed like the good times would never end. Trump appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, shifting the balance of power for generations. His foreign policy? America first, shaking things up on the world stage. From trade wars to pulling out of international agreements, Trump did things his way. Immigration was another hot-button issue. The wall, the travel ban, family separations, controversial policies, to say the least. But to his supporters, he was securing the border and protecting American interests. Love him or loathe him, Trump's presidency was anything but boring. He was a disruptor, a showman, and a master of the media. And whether you agree with his policies or not, he left his mark on America. Enter Joe Biden, America's oldest president, promising to be the steady hand after the tumultuous Trump years. First on his plate, the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden ramped up vaccine distribution, provided economic relief, and urged Americans to stay safe. Next up, infrastructure. Biden's infrastructure bill pumped billions into roads, bridges, airports, and broadband internet. Climate change was another priority. He rejoined the Paris Agreement and invested in clean energy. On the social policy front, Biden reversed many of Trump's controversial policies. He ended the travel ban, halted border wall construction, and affirmed support for LGBTQ+ rights. Biden's presidency has been marked by a return to normalcy and a focus on unity. He may not be as flashy as his predecessor, but for many Americans, that's a welcome change. Let's see how he fares on the world stage. Section 4. Clash of Styles, Clash of Visions, Trump and Biden on the world stage. Trump, with his America First approach, treated international relations like a real estate deal, imposing tariffs on China, pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal, and his bromance with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Unconventional? Absolutely. Effective? Debatable. Biden promised to restore America's global standing and rebuild relationships with allies. He rejoined the Paris Climate Accord, re-engaged with NATO, and took a tougher stance against Russia. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was chaotic, and the war in Ukraine has tested Biden's leadership. So who played the foreign policy game better? It depends on what you value. Trump's boldness or Biden's diplomacy? Section 5. Policy Crossroads, where economy meets ideology. For many Americans, the economy is the bottom line. Trump came in hot with tax cuts, deregulation, and promises to bring back manufacturing jobs. The economy boomed, unemployment hit record lows, and the stock market soared. Critics argued his policies benefited the wealthy at the expense of the poor and middle class. Biden, inheriting an economy battered by the pandemic, focused on providing relief to struggling families and businesses. He pushed for investments in infrastructure, clean energy, and education. Inflation soared, gas prices spiked, and the economy teetered on the brink of recession. Republicans blamed his policies, while Democrats pointed to global factors. So, who's the economic champ? It's complicated. Trump presided over economic growth, but his policies exacerbated inequality. Biden faced a tougher hand, but his long-term investments may pay off. Section 6. The verdict's still out. You decide who wore the Oval Office better. Trump versus Biden. Two presidents, two very different styles, two very different visions for America. Who did it better? That's the million-dollar question. It comes down to your own values and priorities. Do you value boldness and disruption or experience and competence? The presidency matters. The decisions made in the Oval Office impact our lives, economy, and place in the world. It's not just a reality show, folks, it's our democracy. Stay informed, stay engaged, and make your voice heard.